Peace and Black Power. Welcome to another edition of Baba TV Every Time Fire. It's my absolute privilege to be in the presence of a brother that probably wouldn't have even said anything if it wasn't for Red Pill. He recognized Red Pill in the new vegan cafe. This brother's name is Eze Okoye. And I'd like for him and Red Pill, they were into a powerful build here, and if they could just continue the build.
Yes, indeed. Peace and love to the family, Brother Red. We were talking about the importance of health earlier, the many different aspects or the many different chambers of health. Mental health, your economic health, your spiritual health. So the way that the ancestors work, you know what I mean, the way that the great divine speaks through signs is that it's always working for you. It's always conspiring for your success. The only thing that we have to do is pay attention to those and around us, to those that come amongst us. You dig what I'm saying? Instead of looking at a woman's derriere, you know, you should look at her in her eyes and ask her, who is she and what does she do? You know what I'm talking about? Because sometimes that attraction is not just from the lower self, it's something, you know, there's a solution that just presented itself. So here we are in a vegan restaurant, and I connect with my good brother, and the conversation immediately goes into the power of health and what this brother does as a practitioner of such. So I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to let him break it down as to what it is that he does, the service that he provides, and, and where he's, and how you can get in touch with him.
Well, thank you so much, my brother, for just providing me this opportunity. It's so let me just get into it because I know people aren't here to really lollygaggle. Let's get into the science. So myself, I'm one who's very much immersed in traditional arts, healing arts. For about 20 years now, I've been in this field, studying herbology, crystal medicine, essential oil medicine. My number one modality is Qigong, which is, the science of the breath and how you allow this breath to empower your whole being, mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. So basically, the way that priests move, that's the way I want to move, especially on my health tip. So I'm just going to really quickly just give a quick lesson about crystals. So I have a variety of ones that I generally keep around me. And we go to the crystals because it returns the deepest aspect of you back to you, So like the crystals are essentially the bones of the earth. So they influence our bones in our, miniature earth, which is our body. So, so real quickly, the chief of most crystals is, of course, quartz. Quartz is silica oxide. Silica composes about 90% of the whole earth. So when people say you can charge crystals in a quartz bed, they're really trying to let you know that we're replicating the energy of the earth. And so any crystal you put on the earth will recognize the energy and be recharged energetically, vibrationally, because we're doing vibrational medicine, because we're beyond physical beings, we're vibrational beings at the core. So crystal quartz or any quartz will amplify energy of anything that it surrounds. So if I was to put this by any crystal that you like, it's considered to be like a cheerleader. It will be augmenting how you perform. So that's what we use quartz for, and it's a harmonizer, right? So if you have issues of up and down, like above and below or left and right, any disparities, for example, if you have your, say you have a headache and your stomach aches, right? That's above the waist, the head, and solar. So you're going to be needing to harmonize that. So the quartz. So say like your left and your right hand, or your left hand and your right foot, or your left shoulder and your right hip, any of these disparities going on, quartz will come through and bring forth harmony to that. So to that, you may add something for electromagnetic frequencies. A lot of people are worried today about chemtrails. They're worried about computer and cell phone towers, and is my cell phone irradiating my brain cells? So if any of those concerns may be yours, you can take a stone like shungite, which I'm wearing on my wrist, or you can take these tourmalines. It's very interesting that the black stones tend to be the most protective in the whole crystal kingdom, right? There's probably a metaphor there, but I won't spell it out for you. But you take this tourmaline, and you just want it to be near contact of your body or on your person. If you want, you can make an elixir of this, and what you do with an elixir is you could put this, you take 8 to 12 ounces of water, spring water, if you're building, distilled water, if you're cleansing, clearing, right? So if you feel like you have an over radioactive body, something like that, or you've been poisoned, you might want to grab some distilled water, pour it down in a glass, sink this in there, put a quartz in there to strengthen the effects of the tourmaline, and now you've made yourself something that will remove the detrimental effects of whatever that substance that is, inimical to the body. So that's that. This is a very interesting piece called fulgurite. Essentially, it's lightning that has been petrified, right? And guess where this comes from? This lightning that I'm holding, this literal lightning in my hand, comes from the Sahara Desert. And they estimate this is about 10,000 years ago. So that's a desert, right? And desert, you don't think of deserts and having lightning together. That's right. So that lets us know Africa looks now a different way. It looks now than it.
A plush forest.
Exactly, exactly.
It is now desert.
Exactly. So this is plugging you back in to your ancestral elements, and it's containing records, information. So for those of you who are cultivating yourselves, those of you who are getting in touch with your psyche in your meditation, can call forth these other realms. If you don't like that word, you can say you're visited in your dreams, you see, or if you don't like that, you can think about intuition, but you can plug into a time period back when and maybe pull some of those energies, that inspiration, that information up to date for us to use today. So that's the fulgurite, and you can see it's lightning. So if you need to kind of get more energy to move through your day, to get a push, to get an inspiration, you might use this over your third eye in a meditation session. You see what I'm saying? And within time, as you and the crystal kind of mesh, those vibrations become one, and those vibrations that are one will provoke revelations to come, right? So that's the science of the quartz. This comes from, I just came from Hawaii, and this comes from Kauai, Hawaii, and it's coral. And coral is also a record keeper, right? So it corresponds to the bones in the body. So you can utilize this in meditation, especially water meditation, or if you're into water magic. But we'll just keep it on the health tip right now. So you can definitely use this to help issues with what we call in Chinese medicine the lower dantian, right? If people want to build up that lower dantian, me and Red Pill were just talking about the science of developing energy, developing qi in the lower dantian. Really crucial for everybody, really crucial for men, because once you reproduce that energy, that sexual energy in that lower dantian, yeah, it will make you more virile and more potent. What is that for, though? It's not just to crack every leg open that you can find, but you want to crack open the deeper mysteries of life. That's really what it's for. It's to reproduce. It's reproduce you on a level where your mind and your spirit want to go. Those places beyond the physical. That's really what our potency is for, brothers. So this will definitely help in a formula, in an elixir, to help build up your potency. It's all over the place. This is earth medicine. People overlook the most powerful things on earth. And then these two crystals, I'll just finish with this. This is prehnite, and this is chrysoprase, right? Prehnite is a stone that heals the healers, right? You can tell by the green color. Any green colored stone essentially is going to enter the liver in the Chinese system, the liver gallbladder system, right? So people dealing with anger, people dealing with headaches, people dealing with neck tension, people dealing with blurry eyes, right? People dealing with anger issues, frustration issues. Anger is a trajectory that tends to go up. That's why you see all those things like red eyes, headaches, ringing of the ears. All those are energies, our emotions, and the trajectory of anger rises. In society, we're not allowed to show anger like that so much, so we have to suppress that. And so when you see suppression of anger, you're pushing it downwards and it goes into the sexual organs. And then you start acting out sexually, maybe in perverse ways. Because the natural inclination of the energy has been thwarted. So now that energy that's supposed to rise is going down, you see? And so that's where your behavior goes down too. So this will be something that you can use to clear. It's Prenite and also chrysoprase, right? So that's a little spill I just wanted to share with the people.
And that ain't just a little spill. You gotta keep in mind, for some people who've never heard this, that's a big plate of food to eat. My good brother's from the DMV area. He's a global navigator though, you know what I mean? So it's not like he's confined to the radius of this land. He travels, which I'm encouraging so many to do. The brother just said he came back from Hawaii doing his work. So his work is taking him around the world, similar to what we used to do when we were in our proper Pasania. For all of my brothers and sisters out there who are navigators, who are on this journey trying to know thyself, well, when you find yourself traveling as a navigator, doing that which you love, you getting real close to yourself, because that's definitely tapping back into who you definitely not used to be, but who you are. Because we are the navigators. We planted seeds all around the world. So what we want you to do is to get up off of dust yourself off and go around the world and see what those seeds have bore. What fruit has it bore? Don't live in don't live in fear, don't live in your victim's hood. There are mountains of crystals inside of the caves. Okay, there are mountains of crystals inside of the caverns, and people are going in there, they're excavating them and selling it to you at a trumped up price. You know what I'm talking about? So your energy is inside of these places. Your energy, your existence, your history is all around you. It's in calcified forms, fossilized forms, petrified forms, but it's up to you to do what? Be conscious of it first and foremost, be aware of it, then do the knowledge on it. So, salute to you, my good brother. We definitely will look forward to hearing from you in the near future, especially when you do your travel, when you go on your travels. Please come back and report to the global family about what's going on around the world. So those of us who are sitting around with questions, and those of us who are sitting around with visions, and those of us who are sitting around just thinking to themselves, I wonder if I'll pop off in Hawaii, or I wonder what will happen if I go to China, or I wonder if they got niggas in Russia and Paris. Well, goddamn it, they got Nagas in Paris. They got niggas in Paris, but you should be a Negusan. Let them meet the Nagas in Paris. You know what I'm talking about? Get on a plane and go over there and Christian them with your presence. So we're gonna sign off, but yeah, we're gonna let the brother leave his information. Please contact this brother and do the knowledge with him, but don't take his information for granted. We ain't out here doing things, you know what I'm saying, just to do them. If you want his time, compensate him for such.
All right, so on that score, I'll just say, like, I'm in the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me by ezeokoye@gmail.com. Again, the letter E, the letter Z, the letter E, okoye@gmail.com. And I'm dealing with the science of essential oils, making blends. I'm taught by Taoist priest, and I'm taught by Igbo priest. So I'm on the scale of where magic meets medicine. I don't see any difference, but that's how I am. So we're dealing with the essential oils, the crystals, and the movements for health, which we call Qigong. So if you'd like a consultation, I'm also into herbs as well. So I have the herbal science, and Dr. Africa came through, blessed me many years ago, and so we're doing it, and we're doing it like that in the DC area. Thank you.
All right. Peace.